Before the rise of Rome, before the pages of history were written in ink, there lived a people cloaked in silence, shrouded in forests, and whispered about in fear. They were the Druids, keepers of knowledge, masters of nature, and guides of ancient Celtic society. But who were they really? Priests? Astronomers? Sorcerers? Or something even more mysterious? Guardians of forgotten wisdom the world wasn't ready for? They left no books, no monuments with names, but traces of their presence are still felt, in stone circles, ancient groves, and legends that refuse to fade. Tonight, we peel back the mist that covers their story to uncover the ancient history of the Druids and the hidden truth of what they knew. 1. Who were the Druids? The word Druid likely comes from the ancient Celtic words meaning knower of the oak. To the Celts, the oak tree wasn't just a symbol of strength. It was sacred, a bridge between earth and sky. Druids weren't just religious figures. They were healers, judges, scholars, and astronomers, an elite class trained in oral traditions so powerful they were forbidden to write down their teachings. Julius Caesar, who met them during Rome's conquest of Gaul, described them as men of incredible authority. People who could stop wars with a single word and whose training took up to 20 years. But what were they learning during those 2 decades? 2. A forgotten knowledge hidden in nature. Druid teachings were deeply intertwined with natural law. They believed the earth was alive, that trees carried memory, that stone stored energy, and that seasons were not just cycles, but spiritual doorways. They studied the stars not just to navigate, but to understand human destiny. Modern scholars now believe they possessed astronomical knowledge far ahead of their time, using megalithic sites like Stonehenge and Callanish not merely for rituals, but as cosmic calculators. The solstices, lunar cycles, and planetary alignments were woven into their calendars, ceremonies, and sacred architecture. They saw the universe as a living tapestry of signs and symbols, and their job was to interpret it. 3. Rituals, ceremonies, and human sacrifice. Much of what we know about Druid rituals comes from their enemies, mainly Roman historians. They spoke of midsummer festivals, fire rites, and even human sacrifice, offerings made to ensure cosmic balance. But was this truth or propaganda? Recent archaeological discoveries suggest some ritual killings did occur. Yet far more common were ceremonies honoring the turning of seasons, fertility, and the sacredness of life. Druids held rituals in sacred groves, near rivers, or atop hills, places where earth and sky seemed to meet. And their most powerful ceremonies? Said to be held on nights when the stars aligned, when portals between worlds opened. For why did the Druids vanish? As Rome expanded, Druidic influence was seen as a threat to imperial control. Their power to unite tribes, their secret knowledge, their loyalty to the land. It had to be erased. Under emperors like Augustus and Tiberius, Druidism was outlawed. Thousands were executed. Sacred groves were burned. And the oral tradition, once their strength, became their silence. Yet, the Druids were never fully extinguished. Their echoes survive in Irish and Welsh myth, in the bardic orders, and in hidden symbols embedded in medieval architecture. Some even believe that Druidic knowledge merged into early Christian mysticism, and that secret orders, from the Rosicrucians to the Freemasons, carry fragments of their teachings even today. The Druids are not just a memory. They are a question the past never fully answered. They remind us that wisdom does not always come in written words, that some truths are sung in stone, whispering wind, or fell in the roots of ancient trees. Perhaps their greatest power wasn't in magic or ritual, but in seeing the universe as alive, sacred, and interconnected, and in a world racing toward concrete and code. Their message might be more urgent than ever. What do you think the Druids truly knew? Were they just ancient priests, or the last guardians of a wisdom we've forgotten? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if stories like this speak to you, subscribe to Secrets Beyond Time, because some histories don't die. They wait in silence for those willing to listen.